Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? How you doing? This is your boy, the historian. I gotta open a little something up for you guys because at this point, there's a lot of things that's going on with the Falcons, but this right here is definitely something that is just not good. We're gonna go ahead and get this show started. I'm not even gonna call this a regular show. This is just a quick pop up. And no, it's not a benediction, but hell, it might as well be at this point because of what has happened. So sit back, relax, man. We got you covered. Let's go. Man, this right here is very disappointing. James Pearce Jr. was arrested tonight, well, really today, um, down in Florida, and he's facing multiple charges. You got aggravate, you pretty much got stalking, of eluding a police off, pretty much eluding the police, and you have a deadly weapon. It's just not good at all. It's not good. And honestly, I know we say that we don't want any church boys here, but at the same time, we don't need nothing like this coming through here. Like, man, like I'll be honest with you. This right here is not just going to affect his future, it's also going to affect the Falcons. But I'm gonna say this. And a lot of y'all, if you guys don't agree with me, fine. It is what it is. I'm tired of seeing young black men who have opportunities to become great, to get away. You work your ass off to get to a position to make money, to have opportunities to help your family, and to have an opportunity to live better. Now, I'm not saying the NFL is perfect because it's a lot of things that go on, but we don't know why he did what he did. But at the same time, eluding the police, firearm, and you putting yourself in that spot, that's not good. That's not good. And with the times that we are living in right now, you put yourself in harm's way when you do stuff like that. You cannot continue to keep doing stupid stuff because of the fact that you think that you're a top flight athlete. It just doesn't work that way. We already know that Roger Goodell is going to come down on you. But for those who live in the state of Florida, I'm from Atlanta, but I grew up in Florida and went back and forth. I can tell you right now, the Florida prosecuting district attorney is getting ready to try to make an example out of this dude. And with the way that the climate is going, and I'm not going to make this about politics, but this got to stop. Somebody has to sit these kids down and young cats down and tell them, do you know what position you're in? I'm not going to blame all of this on one thing. I'm just keep it book. Many men have fallen due to the opposite sex. And no, I'm not making this about women, but I'm going to tell you this. Aggravated stalking. Think about that. Just think about that. 9 times out of 10, it was a woman involved. And with this kid doing this, that's not good. Aggravated stalking? Like, come on, man. You had some questions coming out of Tennessee. And Arthur Blank and the Falcons gave you an opportunity. Now, this is what's going to have to happen. You got to go through the legal system now, and then you got to go through the NFL, and then you have to see what's going to happen with Arthur Blank. This doesn't work well with the Falcons, but we're going to get to the Falcons in a minute. But we got to talk about this right here. Your future right now is in the balance. This district attorney right now is getting ready to cook. And the worst thing you are right now is a black man in the state of Florida right now. And you have a gun charge. You were one of the best to come out, and we drafted up to get you and to give you an opportunity, and overlooked a lot of stuff. Just to be honest, he had a few things that went on, but it wasn't as bad as what he just done now. What has to happen now, he's got to go through the process. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know everything that's going on, But everybody has to understand the fact that this young man is really going to have to adjust his character. It's just what's going to happen. You're going to have to figure out how your redemption story is going to be, because the way that Florida district attorney is, brother, you're going to need one of the best trial lawyers to help get your ass off, because right now it's just not good. It's not good at all. As a man who came up, like I said, I made dumb decisions when I was a young black man too. When I was younger, I'm older now, and I, just try to do things the right way. And for most of us young men, we do stupid things. It's just what it is. But in this situation, you can't put yourself in harm's way like that, and you have so much to lose. You have so much to lose. And it's not just the money, and it's not just football, it's your name. Because once you stop playing football, you have life after football, son. You got to get a job. You got to work. You got to put yourself in a spot to where you can feed yourself and your family. Because let's be honest, man, we don't know what's going to happen now. And I care about the Falcons. Yes, this is a team I cover, but damn it, I'm tired of seeing young black men get locked up for stupid stuff and us doing dumb things, us doing stupid stuff. And it's not all of us. Let me make sure I put that out. But in this situation, he's going to have somebody that he listens to pull him aside and say, hey, you got to figure out how you're going to fix this now. Because right now, you got egg on your face. You've disgraced your name. And now you're getting ready to get drugged through the mud. You're getting ready to get drugged through the mud, son. A lot of people don't realize this, and I'm going to bring it up. For most people that know what happened with Deion Sanders and Dominique Wilkins in the 90s, everybody's like, oh, they just got traded away. They didn't just get traded away. It was tied up in that Fred Tokar situation. For my real Atlanta folks who know, you know. And they got up out of here because they had the superstar status and they built up. And thank God they weren't knee deep in foolishness, which they could have been because their name was attached to it. They both got traded away around the same time. Go back and look that up. This isn't good. This isn't good at all. And I'm going to be honest with you. This is going to have ramifications, and a lot of y'all going to get mad, and y'all might not agree with me saying it. Let's be honest. You're going to have recollections. If this brother go to prison, you're getting ready to have Michael Vick pretty much flashbacks. I said it. Yes, I said it. This franchise is literally getting ready to have a flashback. One of your best players, young player, that has the world in front of him, and it's gone. All because of bad choices, bad judgment. We root for him on Sundays, but who the hell is schooling these young jits in this situation when they have this money? Who's talking to them? Who's letting them know? Who's in their team telling them, hey, man, that's not a good idea? I mean, at this point, the one vet that should have stayed here was Calais Campbell. He would have held it together. I'm not saying on the field. Yeah, he was still finding ways to impact things. But guess what? This man been in the league for almost 20 years. And he's seen a lot. That right there would have been a great beacon for this young man to have. But here's the other thing. I'm going to look at this as the glass half full. All these rookies that we have now and guys that we getting ready to draft, I want you to look at this. For all you parents out here that have kids, and by the way, shout out to my little cousin, Jackson Hampton. He's getting ready to go to Clark University. He just committed. I had this conversation with my little cousin yesterday. Enjoy the moment, but understand, one slip you can lose everything just like that. Everything you worked your ass off for. Be cognizant of the company you keep, and also be cognizant of the choices that you make. If you are not double thinking something and you just go through with it and you're not thinking, chances being that's something that you don't need to be doing. It just hurts to hear. And it's not about the football for me. It's about seeing another young black man with potential to be great in life screw that up with one bad choice. With one bad choice. And there's no way that anybody can sit here and to defend this mess. I'm going to tell you the truth. You can't defend it because you put yourself in that situation, period. They got you on camera. It's not like it's hidden. They got you on camera. When are we, and I'm going to say we as a community, as whether it's coaches, it don't matter your color, but specifically, yes, I'm talking to black folks, but when are we going to start talking about everybody that's around kids that are making stuff happen? When are we going to start telling these kids decisions that you can make can either set you up forever or pretty much destroy you and screw you up for the rest of your life? You're getting ready to have a serious felony on your record at this point. At this point, we got to see how everything plays out. We just know the details of just the quick report of everything, but we have to wait to see everything that's going to come out. I'm just popping up because I need to address the fact that we're seeing negative things happen again. Just going to be honest. Now, the question is, when we draft guys, outside of drafting, when we have guys in the building, is this going to be something that is going to change? Even if she does not press charges, StreamYard is being StreamYard. Even if she doesn't press any charges, here's the thing. He eluded police. That right there, the Florida district attorney is getting ready to try to bury him with. So it's no way that he's getting off of it, and they have it on camera. And if you haven't seen the footage, it's on Instagram. I'm sure it's going to be on Falcon's social media pages. That right there is not good. That is not good. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. You see StreamYard is StreamYard as usual, but guess what? Look, the devil's trying to stop something that God pretty much put on my heart. And guess what? Satan, you ain't stopping this message because one monkey don't stop the show. I'm going to put it out here for whatever you want to say. I'm just tired of seeing young black men put themselves in dumb situations like this. It happens everywhere. And it's not just him. I'm just speaking on in general. I'm tired of seeing it. Us older cats that have access to kids and these young men, and they listen to us, you got to start talking to these kids. Be honest with them, even if it hurts their feelings. What's up, Nando? I opened it up for the folks to tap in. It's in the link is in the chat. Please, please, please go ahead and do this here.
Man,
what's up, Nando? Let's talk about it.
We got a serious situation in the indigenous community. We got to stop this. I thought this could have ended with the Michael Vick example, But man, whoever in his circle, his village that brought him up to the point to got him to college, they got him to the Falcons. I mean, he's gonna need a male representative or a real male figure to get in his ear, man. I mean, this is a heartbreaking situation.
You got to talk to him now. At this point, this is the hard part of what's going on right now. Because guess what? Now he's sitting right now and he's trying, and here's the thing. He's going to try to figure out who's in his corner right now. That's what he's getting ready to try to figure. So for majority of folks in here, yeah, we're sitting here preaching this, but here's the one thing that you got to do. Okay, he made a mistake. He put himself in that situation. And here's the other thing. What he needs right now is support. That's what he needs. Right now, we're not talking about trading him or nothing like that. I see that in the chat. I got you. I understand that's that, but this is not what we're doing tonight. We pretty much talking about the situation and we're addressing some things, we definitely gonna have that talk about him possibly if the Falcons decide to do so. We're gonna have that on another show. This was just a pop-up just to talk about what's going on, what happened, and how we as fans are feeling about this and what's going on with what's going to happen in this Falcons front office. Because Arthur Blank has already gone through this with a former first round pick that went to prison with Michael Vick. And now you have it all over again. The difference is this happened way early in his career. That's the difference. Vic was at least in the league for a few years before he got in trouble and got to his second contract. This kid not even at the blocks yet. So I dropped the link in the chat if y'all want to jump in and talk about it. I'm also going to put it on X as well if you want to come in here, talk about what's going on with JPJ, and we're going to try to figure this out. We're definitely going to try to figure this out because right now, this is rough. This is rough. I'm not even going to sit here and act like I'm in the best of spirits about it because I'm not at all. But I'm not getting ready to bash the man right now. I want to find out a little bit more about the situation before we start throwing stones at this man. Why did you do it? Why were you stalking? What was going on? And and the question is, how is Matt Ryan going to handle this now? Because now you've assembled a team. You already had a little bit of disillusion with the fan base when it came to hiring Stefanski. Now you have a star player on this team that people actually love this kid. How are you going to handle this now? Because now you and Ian Cunningham have a serious situation on your hands. And you got to do what's best for the logo at this point. But you also, outside of doing what's best for the logo, you need to try to help this young man figure something out. That's the whole thing at this point. He needs to have people in his corner right now. Don't condemn him. Find out before you condemn him. Give him an opportunity to be honest with you. Don't just write him off yet. Now, if he's not honest, it is what it is. But if he's honest and he tells you everything that happened, then you figure out what you can do. Because remember, we had this situation with Michael Vick. And Vick even admitted that he lied to Arthur Blank's face and said that was the worst thing he ever did. Now, do we have Michael Vick to come in and talk to this young man? Do we do that? Because we have reached out and we got an olive branch with Vic, and Vic is coming around the team and he's still loved. Do you let Michael Vick talk to this kid? Say, hey, man, if you're in this situation, you need to go ahead and you need to go ahead and be honest with Mr. Blank. I've already gone through this before. What you got, Nando?
I will say that would be great if they can get Vic to come in and talk to him, man. Whenever they be able to get their hands on him, get a conference space to be able to have a overall situational talk with him. Cause it's life at this point, and it's his name, man. It's going to be a smear campaign, you know.
And I never said if he was innocent or not. I pretty much am reporting and I'm speaking on what happened. Right. And the video is out there. We all saw that he ran.
Yeah.
And he eluded the police. It's on the video, unfortunately. So it's no way that you can defend that. But as I said before, he got to be honest about everything right now because your future, not football, your life,
bro,
depends on it. And depending on how honest you are, you don't know who can help you pretty much limit some of the stuff that you can have. Because you got some felonies going on, pretty much going to follow you now. And you talking about in the state of Florida.
And that's why I say on top of that, it's in Florida.
That's the crazy part. And according to some reports that are starting to come in, They said James Pearce Jr. Is accused of intentionally crashing his Lamborghini into his ex-girlfriend's car multiple times, trying to stop her from getting to the police station. Andy Slater just reported that. Now, as I said before, this situation is getting murkier and murkier. I'm not reporting anything. I'm just saying what needs to happen at this point, because now Atlanta is in a bad situation right now. The Falcons are in a bad situation right now, and it just seems to get worse and worse with the more information that comes out with this situation that's going on. Aggravated stalking.
That's enough. But the aggravated assault with a motor vehicle, that's gonna be a charge with that too.
And that's the whole thing. And you had a firearm. So on top of that, that's 5. So now, and you got to understand this. Just because you have a little bit of money and some fame, man, them folks in Florida don't care about that. The district attorney is getting ready to try to roast your ass now. I hate to say it, but it's coming. You just have to have, now you got to see who's got your back right now.
So how long was you a Florida resident, Ryan? Because you pretty much know.
Longer than 10 years, sir. So I know. My grandfather was a cop in Jacksonville for 30 years. Back in the time, he was part of the first, around that wave of black cops that was coming in. So again, you got to look at it for what it is. Hey, Tydrick, if you're going to come in, you got to have your camera up, buddy. We can't do what happened last time. We had some people to come through. Try to pop in again, because I'm not seeing that you're connected, man. Pop out and pop back in, bro. I'm gonna kick this from the studio real quick, but you got to have your camera on before we can let you in. But with this whole situation, it's just, all I can say is, man, you can't risk, and I can't say what the man was feeling, because I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of us as men, not all of us, I'm saying a lot of us, not all of us, I honestly could tell you up front that it's not good when you have a relationship or an ex-relationship involved. That's not good. And you can go back to the Bible and see that. We make bad choices as men. We make bad choices as men, and we try to say the women are the downfall. Here's the thing. What did you do, and what happened for you to sit there and try to stop her from getting to the cops?
Yeah, at this point, you crashed your vehicle multiple times, Ryan. I mean, that's
not good.
That's not good.
So the link's in the chat. Here's the rule: you have to come on camera. We don't do blank cameras or whatnot. You got to come on camera if you come in here. And like I said, you can use certain cuss words in here, ass, damn, and hell, but you can't use the other words like the S word, the MF word, the B word. Certain things you can't use, but the cuss words you hear on television you can use in here. But links in the chat. I dropped it. If you're gonna come back in here, come on in here. But at this point, what happens now? That's the big question. How does Arthur Blank handle this now? Does Arthur Blank wash his hands of this situation off the rip and cut this kid, put the word out to cut this kid? And here's the sad part. The young lady that he had issues with was Miss Rakia Jackson, former WNBA player.
Yep, WNBA, LA Sparks player.
Here's the thing. We know Roger's gonna give him a stick, but I keep alluding to this. Roger might not get to him. That's what you're not understanding. The Florida district attorney is going to bury him. That's what y'all don't get. Everybody keeps talking about Roger. He's got to get back. No, it's not overreacting. it's not just destruction of property. He also had a firearm on him, and he eluded the police in the chase.
Mm.
Apparently you really didn't hear us when we first hear it when it first came on. And in
Mm.
Florida, that is a state that does not play about eluding the cops. That's one state that does not play that. The district attorney is known for getting people time for that. I know that firsthand. Got a couple of buddies of mine that's sitting behind bars because of that. So that's cool. I'll be that.
Ag assault with a motor vehicle as well. That's gonna be
Yeah,
a serious charge.
most definitely. Most definitely. So why don't you get in the link and tell me how? Because I'll let you discuss that. You're saying that I'm lame, but I'm telling you again, this is in the state of Florida that he did this in. No matter how you're saying it, that's not going to get dropped down. The state
Mm-hmm.
attorney's office and the DA is not like Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So again, when you have video footage on top of that that shows that, how can you sit back and say that I'm lame for saying it and they got the video footage posted?
Facts on. I mean, it's on camera, man.
It's on camera. That's my question.
So I mean, we can't be lame about trying to betterment the indigenous community as males. I mean, come on, I don't know what side of the fence he on. I don't understand that guy.
So
What
no, he
what
says
what?
he's from Savannah, but he lived in Jax. But how long did you live in Jacksonville? How long did you live in the state of Florida? Because that actually didn't take place in Jacksonville. That took place further south. That's the question.
Mm,
And again, Jalen Carter, here's the thing. Jalen Carter fled the scene in Georgia. This
right.
dude fled the scene in Florida. This is what people aren't getting. It's two different states.
Right.
It's two different states. If you've never been in that state before and you don't understand how the legal system works, it is what it is. And I'm talking about longer than 5 years. But it's all good. We can all have difference of opinion. I definitely appreciate you for tuning in, my guy. Thank you. But I just hope. So he says, I can almost guarantee this situation is worse than what's being reported. I mean, a lot of the information is coming out now. All I'm saying is this. I'm not saying that he was right. I'm not saying he was wrong. Because again, when you have the report saying that he crashed his car into there, okay, that's damage of property. But again, when you see him actually speeding off and you see the cop car behind him, they're going to report that as eluding the police, and it's on camera. Either way.
Yep. I mean, my question, Ryan, is, I mean, we should have kept Calais Campbell, man, for this cat when they said character issues at the trial.
Yeah. I
I
wish
think
I wish he never got in trouble.
I wish he would have never got in trouble, but I think Calais would have been in his ear, bro.
Yeah. At this point, all you can do is just pray for the young man that the things won't go as bad as we kind of can see it happening. But the facts are, you're in Florida. Florida does not play about certain things. They're not lenient when you run from the cops in that state. And then aggravated stalking? Nah. That's just something, that situation right there could possibly hurt how we draft later on in the future. I'm with you on this. And like Craig is saying, this situation could possibly stop Arthur from ever getting guys that's got character issues or that's made a mistake in the past. Just saying. You really believe that it's a setup? Nah. I ain't gonna say that because here's the thing. How many guys outside of the Dallas Cowboys?
Right.
Oh, we got a new face in here. What's up, James? How you doing, man?
I'm
Welcome to
doing
the
pretty
cave.
good yourself.
Right.
uh, could be a little bit better on Saturday night instead of hearing this type of news.
Yeah, I was shocked myself, man.
So, how do you feel as if this is going to affect the Falcons in the future when you talk about being able to draft and just pretty much put this man in that situation? How do you feel about that?
It could vary, I guess, because maybe I guess like say if there's another person that's has very high talent like Pierce himself and he has character issues, we may not draft him, but I guess it depends on the actions he had with Pierce himself.
Okay. What's up, Winston of the Eye Test? Welcome, 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 my guy. Um,
Yo,
how, with everything that's going on right now, and I mean, the details of the story is still coming out, and it seems like the details are getting worse and worse.
yeah, so it's me. I mean, I don't know, I don't know, cause like from what from what I've read and what I've you know what I picked up from the store is I'm guessing altercation happened in the house. She tried to leave to go to the police station. He hopped in his Lambo, ran into her car a couple of times to stop her from going to the police station. Then he speeds off. They chase him. He wrecked the car. Then he resists. Then there is video of his arrest out. I don't know if there's video of the assault, so I'm not even going to speak on that part because you're innocent until you proven guilty.
Agreed.
Now the allegation is that he hit her car multiple times before to stop her from going to the police station. Now, if that's true, he's gonna do some time.
Yeah, that's an ag assault with a
And
motor vehicle.
you
And
got two
then
counts of it.
you
Two
got to
counts.
remember he had a weapon when they got him too. Remember, they also reported that he had one on him. So again, that right there is just not good.
Who was he
Nah,
stalking again?
His ex
the
girlfriend.
kid, the
I
kid
have a
Jackson.
theory, but it's probably not true. I think he was planning on killing his girlfriend, if you think about it.
Huh?
Huh? Where you get that from?
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, why on else would he have the firearm in the first place?
I mean, a lot of people walk around with firearms,
For
but see,
protection
yeah.
in the
would
cars
you
and stuff.
would you walking around with a firearm, even if you don't use said firearm and you commit a felony, it's an enhancement because you had a firearm within the vicinity. You had
Hmm.
a firearm on your person. That's an enhancement.
Yeah,
That's why it says aggravated assault with a weapon.
Hmm.
That's
exactly.
it. When you see any charge and it says with such and such and such, that's an enhancement to the charge. Like
And
if
Alright, I
it
got you.
was just like if it was like straight aggravated assault, he probably could have got that knocked down. You know what I'm saying? Did some community service, anger management, da 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 da. Paid a
possibly
See,
just
fine,
possibly gain
maybe
suspension.
did couple of weeks in jail. All
Yep.
right, now you got a weapon, and they called they gave you two charges with a weapon. So you got one
Hmm.
for the gun, and then you
Yep.
got one for using the car as a weapon.
Right.
That
So it's two.
alone, you got like
It's two weapons. Two different
it's two
weapons.
weapons. It's two different weapons. It's the gun and it's the car.
Oh
Like
Lord.
that.
This just keep getting
That
worse because they just posted it. Rakia Jackson's nose is broke.
Mm.
That's why I'm like,
Damn.
look, this
ain't no getting around
situation
that.
is getting worse and worse when the details come out. So with that situation happening, it's just like, good Lord,
Mm.
this ain't this
If
not looking good for him.
if her nose is broke, like there's no getting around it.
Nope.
At this point, there's no getting around it. Like
But
even if she don't show up for court, even if she doesn't show up for court, the state Florida's gonna pick that up. The
Winston,
state of Florida is gonna pick up the charge and go and proceed with the charge.
but here's the other thing. It's not okay, that's fake. But here's the thing, it's not just that part. This is the part that I keep throwing out here, and this is what people keep forgetting. the state of Florida does not play about eluding the cops in any situation. And in that
No,
situation, and I know Virginia is like that too. But I know Florida firsthand. My grandfather was law enforcement for 30 years in the state and had to work with folks. Trust me on that. The district attorney of the state is getting ready to try to roast this man. And then you got
yes,
and then you got a gun charge too. That's not the place to get caught with a pistol.
Mhm.
you got like you have to understand where it happened at. All right, it happened in Florida.
Facts.
Florida is a major port for drugs, so they don't play you running away from the police at all. That's why Florida
Well,
doesn't play that because it's too much drugs coming in and out of it. See what I'm saying? All right, so that eluding jump. I mean, like if he was just eluding, he'd be fine. You know what I'm saying? He'd slap on the wrist, pay a fine, probably get your license suspended. Da 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 da. But now you have two aggravated with a weapon. You got one with a gun and you got one with a vehicle. And to
Mm.
be honest, he better be glad that he didn't get charged as attempted homicide, vehicular homicide.
as
Because
I
if she
said
was in that
before,
car, if she was in that car, he definitely could have been charged with it. Because you
but just think
intentionally hit
about
her.
it. But Winston, I'm gonna let Will go because he just popped in. Just think about it now. You just said that. That was critical. Now here's the other thing. This is if when everything comes out. This is the other thing you got to think about. As I keep saying, the Florida district attorney is licking her chops right now. And it's few. The
Oh,
DA is
better,
the
better.
DA's office is licking their chops right now at this point. So right now, regardless of how that goes, that's just not good. And I just hope that some of the stuff that they are putting into the story does not stick. But for the most part, there's a lot of stuff that's sticking. Will, what's good, man? What you got?
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, the situation, man. I just feel like he should have walked away from a situation. You never put your hands on a female or never get an altercation like that. The best thing, you an NFL player. You know how the system is, especially as a black man as us. They might get him a fine, do some community service, but in that state of Florida, and I'm not far from Florida. I'm like 2 hours away. I'm from Savannah, so they don't play out. They real strict, and some of them juries are racism. Not all, but I'm just saying you have to be mindful what you do out there. And like I said, this is disappointing, but I hope he learned from his situation. He might get fined or might do some part community service or they might put him on probation. It
Will.
depends. Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep it a buck. He ain't getting community
Mm.
service. And
Mm.
the reason me and Winston was talking about this just now, the reason he ain't gonna get it now, if it was anything else, that's one thing. But you used your vehicle to hit hers a few times, and then you fled the scene and you tried to flee the scene.
Oh yeah, he might probably down. They probably give him a fine. Probably have to pay some fine and probably get suspended. 6 game suspension probably for us.
Cam, what's good, man?
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. It's really the only explanation that I like. It's really the only thing I can say right now. Um, because again, we know how these cases usually work, and if all the evidence is pointing to what is being reported as of right now, because there's more to come out eventually, this is not going to work in his favor whatsoever. This is possibly a life altering decision. With the way that the new PBA is set up, it's not looking good. So hopefully, hopefully there's more to it to say he was defending himself or whatever the case is. But as of right now, this is not a good look. I feel bad for I really do because this is going to change a lot of lives because of something he did, being a kid or being stupid.
Yeah.
But
Say
again,
they say a nose broke.
yep, it's official. Yo, that's why I put that out there because it's not good.
It ain't
Look,
come. Keep folding back, coach. It ain't good, man.
well, look. Well, anytime we got some raw meat out here, you know it's a wolf lurking. So we got Wolf in the building. My guy down at the bottom. What's good, big Wolf?
What's
Hey,
happening,
how's
bro?
everybody doing? Hello,
What's up, Wolf?
how's everybody
What's happening?
doing?
What's happening?
What's good?
What up?
What's
What
good,
up?
Wolf?
It's good, man. Florida jails ain't that bad. He'll be all right. Florida jails ain't that bad. I've been down there. It's cool.
Wolf, we ain't talking about jail, bruh.
Oh,
He might get prison time, sir.
he
Because
be fine.
you
Look, you got he can join the Bloods. He can join the Land Kings. He can join the Crib.
I figured Wolf was gonna say something off the chain up in his.
he could be GD. I think they got
Hey.
GD down there. I think they definitely got Bloods. Bloods definitely down there. He good, man. He good. Don't worry about it.
So outside of you talking about joining or whatnot, because we're
Yeah.
talking about, and you going to law school, so you understand this.
Right.
Florida is a state you don't want to get caught up in with a pistol for number one, for anything bad,
Mhm.
and then eluding the cops.
Yeah, but you guys are making a mistake. You guys are making a mistake. He not one of them yet. He not one of them. He not a superstar. He had a good rookie season. He not
Mhm.
he not Michael
I
Thompson.
never said he was a superstar.
No. What I'm saying is
No.
what I'm saying is like the consensus, saying everybody thinking he one of them. He not one of them yet. He not front page news yet. He not that yet. I mean, he had a good season. I think the Falcons, like definitely send Arthur Blank, lawyers in there fix the problem. I mean, Arthur Blank can fix some issues. That's cool. The problem is that say now we got a guy on our team that look, man. I've been in jail with dudes that they wife or girlfriend did something and they spend the rest of their life in jail for something. You know what I mean? And if you got that type of mentality, it might happen again. It might not happen now. It might happen down the line. You know what I'm saying? You might have to put a monitor on them. You might have to put people on him to make sure he go to home early. This and third. But Atlanta, Florida, you know what I'm saying? When you got that type of money, you're gonna get in trouble quick. You feel what I'm saying? If you do research on even the Ray Lewis case, you know what I'm saying? Even when Ray Lewis caught that M1, you know what I'm saying? Florida, you know what I'm saying?
No, don't forget Georgia too.
You know what I mean? So like I think they're gonna put people on them. I think they gotta put people on them, which I think that'll happen. But I don't know, man. Man, listen, man, you know what I mean? Like
he got in trouble in Doral, Florida, outside of Dade County.
I mean, like I said,
and that's why I'm trying to tell you, no,
like I said,
you're talking about Dade County, and in that area, pretty much Miami. That's a city you don't want to get in trouble in.
Yeah, listen, man. I respect.
But I'm saying,
I
saying
respect
like Dade.
Yeah, I respect it, man. Like I said, man, I'm, listen, man. Domestic violence is such a, I don't support it. You know what I'm saying? Again, bro, I don't support it. I don't support putting my hands on no female. I done did a lot of stuff. I ain't ever put my hands on no female. I done seen guys in jail that they go through it. You know what I'm saying, with their girl, this, that, and the third, with their wife, and they telling you the story, and you looking at them, and you be like, damn, that don't make no sense. And you know what I mean? I just don't know. You know what I mean? Like I said, man, it's unfortunate. He has great talent. I think the Falcon defense is taking a great blow today. But I mean, listen, man, we'll see what happens, man. I just wanted to show love to the Birdcage. Congratulations on the 1K.
Thank you, bro.
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody on the panel. Winston, shout out to the eye test. Shout out to everybody, man. Congratulations on the 1K.
I want to ask you one question before you slide, Wolf.
Yeah.
Because you probably, like I said, and we all talk about it, and I don't want to speculate in that situation because it's so much that is coming back from that situation. And I spoke on this earlier. Now, depending on how this situation is, and even if he's all the way honest or whatnot, I think his time in Atlanta pretty much getting ready to be done with this situation, unfortunately. I just pray that the situation ain't as bad as how it's reported. But for the most part, I said that video that they had of him kind of speeding away from the cops, I said that right there, you can't defend that because it's on camera. And I said, damn. But here's the question I got for you.
Mhm.
Do you think him being able to have in this situation, even if he's no longer a Falcon,
Mhm.
do you think we could possibly, as an organization, because we went through this with Vic,
Mhm.
do you think we could have Michael Vick talk to him? Possibly try to help this young man just get his life right.
So
I don't give a like I care about football, but I'm looking at it from this standpoint, being a black man,
right.
and I'm seeing a young black brother that
Mhm.
had all the potential in the world to
Sure.
become great, not as an athlete, not just as an athlete, but having an opportunity to make things happen in his life.
So
Yeah.
so Ryan, as a former criminal, you have two different crimes.
Yeah.
Right? Two different crimes. Mike Vick went to jail because his team was PU. They was PU. You could spell the rest.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm
So no.
saying?
So no.
Because that was something that is part of our environment. Like dog fighting is part of I'd have seen it. It's nothing that was major to me at that time. You know what I mean? DMX, 5-time champion. That's, you know what I mean? His album is called 5-time champion. You know what I'm saying? Fighting dogs was something for us. It was regular. You know what I'm saying? It's regular. It's even accepted in the hood still to this day.
Yep.
It's just that his team was PU. You could spell the rest. If that was my man, $100 million, I'd have said, yo, Mike, I'm going to the feds. Pop, don't even worry about it. I'd have been Land King, blood, whatever you want me to be for 100 mil if I'm coming home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What JPP did was something that is triggered. A lot of men are triggered by the PU. You could spell the rest.
Yeah.
That was because he feel like the PU belonged to him. It belonged to me. It can't, Coach Cam can't talk to it. William Amy can't talk to it. It's only me. So then it becomes like a possessive thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's two different crimes. And I go back to, before I start, I go back to what's a real crime. The real crime is like a Cain Velasquez, UFC fighter, called 5 years because there was somebody, it was a mitigating circumstance. There was mitigating circumstances to that case. You know what I'm saying? So there's no mitigating circumstances here. It's either the girl don't want to be with you and you need to move on, or you have that mentality, and most men do. And it's not only in our community, it's in the white
in all communities.
In the Asian community. It's the possessive of that girl belonging to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother situation. I think Ryan and Coach Cam and everybody here, Nando, I don't know, James, how you doing?
Yeah.
William, I hope and pray that they can put somebody on them, that the organization can say, hey, listen, man, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Point where you say to yourself, listen, this is your curfew, this is that, and maybe you could put not, I wouldn't say a Mike Vick, but maybe a Leonard Floyd. Maybe Leonard Floyd can talk to him. Maybe somebody like that can talk to him. Maybe even a Rook. Hey, listen, man, there's a lot of, we have generational wealth. We could change people's lives, man, in a positive direction. And maybe you get people like that to talk to him. Somebody like a Tesla, somebody like that. I don't think a Michael Vick will be a good thing because what Mike did wasn't really. And I'm gonna take a lot of heat. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not speaking about the dog fighting.
I'm
thinking about a guy that unfortunately lost out on pretty much $100 million contract because of a bad choice. I'm not alleviating the crime.
Right.
I'm not saying that, because here's the thing: dog fighting is dog fighting. We all know that. All of us know that. But what I'm saying is, in this situation, you have to talk to somebody that's been there before.
And I'll be contrary.
Hold up, Cam.
I got you.
So what I'm saying is this: if we're gonna do it, my thing is you need to talk to somebody that has gone through the system already, somebody that has already had something happen, and to allow them to say, hey, this is what you're getting ready to face.
Yeah, man.
My situation was totally different than yours, but guess what? You still got to go through the legal system now. And this is something that you need to prepare for.
You're certainly right. Hey, Ryan, man, I appreciate you for having me on. Everybody, man, hopefully I could come back and talk about some more
Man, Wolf, you
Um,
know you always welcome.
yeah,
What
man. I just
tell
like
people
you
where they
said,
can find you.
yeah. And listen, man. Wolf, respectfully, man. You know, what I'm saying peace and blessings to everybody, man. Like I said, man. I'm not gonna lie. Before I go, it's an exciting time to be a Falcon fan, man. I mean, don't forget that, everybody. It's an exciting time to be a Falcon fan. We got a lot of positive situations. We got a lot of new situations, and you know what, man? It's just dampened a little bit, man. Look, like I said, man, the kid is amazing. The kid is amazing. He's amazing, amazing, amazing talent. I just think that, like Ryan said, maybe you get somebody to talk to him. But Ryan, I really think that when you're like that, like when you have that trait as a man, that possessive trait, and it might have got taught to him by his father, by his uncles, or something like that, I really think you need to put somebody on him. You need to have somebody kind of shadow banning him. So
Hey,
maybe we could
hey,
this
what?
again. Yeah,
Hey, what?
yeah,
Before you shoot out here,
yeah.
like I agree with the premise of having somebody talk with him, shadow him, basically keep him in line.
Mhm.
But do you really think that the Falcons are going to do this? Now, the reason why I asked this question is, y'all remember back in what was it, like 2017, 18, something like that.
Mhm.
Remember when we drafted Prince Shimbo, and remember when Prince Shimbo did what he did to his girlfriend or ex girlfriend dog,
Mhm.
and we
Mm.
cut him.
Mhm.
Now, like I said, these are allegations. Nothing has been proven yet. But
Right.
if it is true
Mhm.
that Rakia Jackson has a broken nose, how long do y'all really think that he's gonna be on the Falcons?
I,
He gonna
I
be gone. He gonna be gone like tomorrow.
Coach Cam,
I hate to say that.
that's a great question, man. That's a great question. I listen, man. I man, look, man. Domestic violence is a thing that has been from the beginning of time. You know what I mean? From the beginning of time that I know, and I think that he's not the worst case. But
It's not
again,
good.
it's
My
not
I, my, my
good.
my 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 thing is
Right.
my thing is
Either way you look at it, Coach Cam, you got a man
Oh
who
no, this was Winston.
has
That
a
was Winston that said that.
has a mindset of possession, Coach Cam, and that's very dangerous in this day and age, especially with social media, Coach Cam, right? Because
Hmm.
social media is why the NFL is the way it is now. Is the social media aspect, right? Of how we consume information. And we consume information so fast that we don't process a lot of the things that we receive sometimes. And again, this looks all bad right now. This does. I don't know if he walked in a situation where Rakia was on her knees. I don't know.
That I was fitting to say the same thing.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
I was fitting to
what
say the
can you?
same thing
What
because
can you say at that point?
the,
I
Right.
Wolf.
So
Many.
again,
the
Coach can't listen. Coach can't listen. This is something where you walk in and you like this. You looking right. You like this. You like, and some men will be like, "Ooh, that's my escape. Oh, I'm breaking up. I'm gone. That's my escape. Responsibilities, everything. I'm about to go to Hawaii. I'm about to go. I'm about to go everywhere." But some men, they look at it, they be like, "Ooh, pop, 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 pop," and they start wilding out.
and I've been locked up with him.
Yeah. So
I, I,
okay, that's a
I'll be honest.
that's a good
I've
point.
been to prison twice.
Yeah,
I've been to prison twice,
and
personally.
yeah,
So I've heard
plenty
so
stories.
many different
Yeah.
stories from so many different people.
And
Like
this is a good conversation.
domestic violence.
Yeah, this is a good conversation. I hope you have this conversation again more. I'm sorry to bother you, Winston. I just got
Oh
to
no, you
bail.
good, brother.
But I hope you have these conversations again, Ryan, because this is an important conversation to have with the
Yeah.
subscribers and the people in the chat. Because, like, man, we go through life, man. As content creators, we go through our ups and downs as well as people, as subscribers. We go through our ups and downs, bro. So, I mean,
yeah,
this is
nobody,
Fred,
nobody in perfect, but you gotta
yeah,
make better decisions. Only thing I'm
yeah,
gonna say is about it. This is the NFL. You have to be good on and off the field. You can't
sure,
have these
sure.
situations.
I agree with you 100%. Ryan, man, I appreciate you, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're saying, yo, Coach Cam, Nando, get home safe. I see you walking, you on the train. You get home safe, brother. Get home safe. You know what I mean? It's treacherous out there. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, Ryan, man, thanks so much, man. Push out the great content, bro. And I appreciate you always for having me on, bro. Thank you so much, bro.
Always, Wolf.
Hey,
Appreciate you, my guy.
catch you. Yeah. You got my number too, right? Call me up, man. You got my
No, I don't have it. Leave it behind the stage for me so I can have it, man.
All right, I got you.
Yeah,
brother.
before you get off, just put it behind the stage. I got you.
Okay, I got you, brother. Later, man.
That was my guy Wolf doing his thing and
My
whatnot.
audio went out.
Cam, drop.
I'm gonna drop out and come back in.
That's a bet. So now, when we sit back and we continue to keep looking at it, we all talk about everything. The guys are gonna be coming back. Just audio is just jacked up, but in this situation, like everybody's saying that he's gonna get a second chance. Here's my thing: is certain things you're gonna get a second chance for, but in this situation with everything that's done happened, y'all got to pay attention to Arthur Blank. Ridley got kicked off this team for gambling. Wasn't even on us, but got kicked off the squad for gambling. What makes you think that Arthur is going to take another chance? I just need to hear this. What makes you think that Arthur is going to take that chance? Now, the last person that we had get in trouble was Calvin Ridley, and he was gone for gambling. This is a whole different situation. You're talking about Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs actually went to prison for some time. He hasn't started back playing yet. Or are you talking about what's the Miami? No, he was a Cleveland wide receiver or whatnot that hit somebody in Miami. He was drunk.
Dante Stallworth.
Dante Stallworth is retired, but I get what you're saying though in that situation. But the NFL is not taking too kindly to that anymore. You still got to deal. You still have to deal with this. Henry Ruggs locked. He's not out. Henry Ruggs is still locked up right now. So again, if we're gonna sit back and start using these examples, let's be real. It's just what it is. Remember, Ray Rice got in a situation over a domestic violence situation, and pretty much it cost him his career. Now, I get what you're saying about Rashee Rice, but the difference was Rashee did not evade the police. That's the difference. I hear what y'all saying, but Rashee didn't run from the cops. That's the difference.
Also, Rashee was very honest and forthcoming with all evidence that they asked for. He never ran from anything that was said about him or anything else. He had everything prepared and ready to go when the cops needed it. But
thank you. And Rice's situation was not a domestic situation at that. It was just street racing. That's the difference. Everybody's trying to compare that, but it's like, look, Rashee didn't run from the cops. There was no woman involved.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at Ray Rice. So we talking about Rashee Rice. Look at Ray Rice.
Facts.
Ray Rice had a video of him knocking his old lady out. Like me personally, I don't condone a man putting his hand on a woman. Period.
Nope.
That's a dub. Like you would not do that around me. I promise you. You would not. If you do it around me, the only way you done did it around me is I wasn't able to get to you fast enough. But I will get there. Like that's a lot. But like I've seen, like I mean it's nothing to be touted. It's nothing to glorify. I've been to prison twice. I've been in and out of jail all my 20s. I'm 38 now. The last time I got out of prison, I was what, 35, 34.
So
Like, I ain't too long came out. I've seen these things happen to people.
Hold up, Weston. So, racing fan, Kareem Hunt had a domestic situation. However, he didn't have a weapon on him, and he did not elude the police. That is the difference.
I'll be right back.
Okay. You guys keep bringing up these players, and y'all are saying this here, but y'all are not putting two and two together. He ran from the cops, and they got it on film. Y'all keep forgetting that. Y'all talking about everything but that. Like, come on. Like, come on, if we gonna have this conversation, let's have it. Don't half-ass it. Don't half-ass it. Again, we keep trying to tell y'all it's a whole different situation, man. And the thing was, again, he fled the cops. That's the difference. He fled. And you cannot flee in a situation like that. You just can't. Period. So all I'm saying is this, man. It's just what it is.
I'm gonna tell people, who we talking to the audience anyway. If
Yeah,
you get
go ahead.
if you get in any trouble, any type of trouble, or they suspect you of being in trouble, the worst thing you can sit there and do is flee. I promise you, it is literally the worst thing you can do. And penalty wise, the eluding or fleeing charge or whatever, it doesn't carry that much. It really doesn't carry that much. But it's they use that towards the mission of guilt. So before you even started to defend yourself, they already looking at you sideways. Because the first question to go sit down at, whether it's the cop or the DA or whatever, the first question they're gonna ask you is, all right, well, if you didn't do anything, why did you run? The worst thing you can do is sit there and run. Why? Because at the end of the day, all I have to do is like the law says that we're innocent until proven guilty, but in all actuality, let's keep it a man. You're guilty until you're proven innocent, and especially for a minority. I'm not just saying it for for black
Minority
people,
in general.
Hispanic people, minority in general. You are guilty until you prove yourself innocent. The worst thing you can do is flee. I'd rather go sit in jail for a couple of days and get everything thrown out once the
So
truth that came out, then
hold on,
tack on
Winston.
extra charges. Carry on.
So hold on, Winston. I got you on this. So Bill Investor, thank you for tapping in, my guy. He says, why throw away your future for what? I'm with you on that. At this point, Wolf said it earlier, when you talking about, the ladies or whatnot, some of us as men believe that these women belong to us. And guess what? They don't. At the end of the day, they don't.
It's just your time, bro.
It's just your
That's
time.
it.
And
It's
at the
just your
end of the
time.
day, you have to look at this for what it is at this point. It's just not a good look, period. All the way around. It's not a good look. And the question is, how do you recover from this? Because Atlanta's got a lot of nasty stigmas when it comes to athletes getting in trouble around here. A lot of nasty stigma. Now, I'm not speaking on everywhere else because we know Dallas had the White House and they had a whole bunch of BS that got swept under the rug. We all kind of know about that. Well, some of us do.
Hmm.
You got stuff that happened with the 49ers, Charles Haley, a lot of BS that
Yes.
happened with that. Every team
You,
has something.
you had stuff with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. You had
Exactly.
stuff with the Lakers and Kobe. Like it happens. It happens.
Well, well, here's the thing, Bobby. The difference of that situation, you're saying sexual crimes or whatnot. This situation where he rammed his car into hers, trying to stop her from going to the police station, and then you try to elude the police and you're in Florida with a firearm, that ain't gonna work too well. The state,
Mm-mm.
you gotta understand, the state district attorney is getting ready to grind this kid up in court. That's pretty much what it is. So however you sit back and you put it, it is what it is. Right now, it's just not a good look. A lot of people are trying to defend this because y'all, let's be real. A lot of people are defending this because y'all just want a guy that's gonna put
To
up
be a
numbers on
Falcon.
the field. That's the only
Hmm.
reason why y'all defending it. The boy got a few felony charges right now until proven innocent. Now, that video of him eluding the cops is not going to prove him innocent. But guess what? Continue to keep believing what you want to believe and just be in that delusion. Because at the end of the day, what's on that video? What can you argue? What can you argue? You're pretty much trying to build a mansion on a foundation full of beach sand. It ain't gonna stand.
I think I'm saying. No,
It ain't gonna
and
stand.
I get it. I was excited for him. I was like, man, we finally got our cornerstone pass rusher. Like we
Back.
finally got there. It took us 8 years, but we finally got it again. And I understand the fan perspective of wanting to protect the team, as in I want to protect the good players that we have on the team, so the players can keep producing on the field. This is happening off the field though. There's no protecting that from this, because what this is, or what's being alleged to be, is between him, her, and the police.
Facts.
Like they have nothing to do with the Falcons. The only thing they have to do with the Falcons is because he's the Falcon player. You got to stop looking at it as a fan of the team and look at the actual situation. Because at the end of the day, all right, let's say that, what if this happened to your sister? What if you got a call in the middle of the night, your sister sitting there crying on the phone, hey, such and such did such and such, da 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 da. Would you still think the same way? Would you still sit? Well, da, 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 he may just get probation. Da, 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 da. No, you're not thinking like that.
Hey,
You got to
but
be honest with yourself in situations like that.
at
You're
the end of
not
the day,
thinking like, well, yeah, he just gonna get probation and everything. It'd be right as rain after tomorrow. Oh, just put some ice on it. Like, no, you're not gonna sit there tell your sister that. But at the same time, this is alleged. It's
so
not proven.
here's
See
the
what I'm
thing.
saying? So
Tommy Reed,
let's get
Tommy
more
Reed.
information on it, and then we'll be able to give a more just critique of the situation or analysis of the situation.
Hey, Winston.
It's all about the
So
information, and it's all about how the information is dispersed. Because I put it to you like that: if whatever they sit there and put out, that's not all of the story. They're not gonna, like, the state is not gonna give you all the information. The defense is not gonna get all the information until they ask for discovery. That's what type of situation is going on right now.
Winston, I want to put this out here real quick. Hold up.
Hey, well,
So
my
somebody
audio
put
done
out.
went out again.
Hold up.
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna try to. Winston pop. I'm gonna get you to pop out and pop back in. But here's the thing: people are talking about Tommy Reese. I get it. Here's the thing: Tommy Reese was arrested for resisting law enforcement, battery to a police officer, minor consumption, and public intoxication after a confrontation at an off-campus party. During the incident, he reportedly kneeled an officer in the stomach and was pepper sprayed before taken into custody. He faced felony charges, but later they would drop down to misdemeanors. Now, here's the thing. I don't agree with that either. Tommy Reese, to me, should have been locked up. But if we gonna get to the meat and potatoes of this, since somebody wanted to bring up Tommy Reese, I want y'all to really think about this. Tommy Reese was at Notre Dame when this happened. He was playing at that time when it happened. And then here's the other thing. What color is Tommy Reese and what color is James Pearce Jr.? And he didn't have a weapon, by the way. Assault is assault. I'm not gonna sit there and act like Tommy Reese shouldn't have had some time or had something happen. He should have, because he kneeled a law enforcement officer in his stomach. I'm not even saying that. But what I'm saying is this: Pierce had a weapon. Pierce rammed into a girl's car. Difference between public intoxication and when you're in a situation where you could actually take somebody's life. So again, if we're gonna sit there and go
Not
there,
not 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 once, but twice
thank you.
in the
If we're
same
gonna
situation.
think about it, if we're gonna sit there and go there, here's the thing: he resisted arrest, but he didn't try to flee the scene. He just didn't want to go nowhere being drunk. I'm just
That,
gonna be
that,
honest with
that,
you.
that's the same thing with Baker Mayfield. When
Exactly.
when when he was at College Station, he was running down the sidewalk, drunk as
So
hell. Like,
so if you're gonna bring up Tommy Reese, make sure you bring up the fact that he was publicly intoxicating at the party. The car was one of the weapons, but they said they found a weapon on him while they were arresting him. So again, they didn't say what the weapon was. They just said it was a weapon. That's all they said. I'm just going off of what was put out. I'm sure by the end of this week, we're gonna have the whole story.
Well, no,
Really, by
you
Wednesday.
you'll have the whole story that they're allowing to the public.
Uh-huh.
But like the whole story, you're not gonna get that until he go to court. We would not get that until he go to court. Now, um, like like Wolf was sitting there saying, like there's no telling what he walked into. But then on this too, though, all right, well, Rakia plays for what? Who is it? The Los Angeles Sparks or
Yeah,
Vegas?
Los Angeles Sparks, Winston.
Okay, so Rakia is vacationing over in Florida in the off season. So how did you get her address? Because that's going it's going to set up a lot of things. It can work in his favor or it can work against his favor.
They
Because
called it
if
aggravating stalking. That's what they called it. And that's not good if they say that because it was
see what I'm saying?
premeditated.
Yeah. So here's the scenario. It's one of the two. Either she gave him the address. Hey, look, I'm over. Da pull up. Come see me. You in town? Let's chop it up.
Yeah.
Or you was in town and you went by whatever means to find out her information where she's at, and then you showed up, popped up. All right. Now let's say it's the latter. All right. If it's the latter and you popped up unannounced or whatever, she's on vacation in Miami.
Mm.
There's no telling what's going on in the house. He could have walked in. She's cuddled up with some dude sitting watching a Tubi movie. Any of that, and it could have sparked him. All right. Well, if that's the case, then like there's no way of you getting around this. But if you went over there and she told you to come over there or whatever, and there was a fellow that she was speaking with or whatever, and he ended up showing up at the same time, and Buddy did something to you, you was defending yourself, and she ended up getting hurt in the circumference of the situation, then all right, that's a little bit different. So we can get that out of the way. But at the same time, you said that you sitting there ramming her car to stop her from going to the police. And like we can't there's no other way to ascertain that point of the situation outside of Rakia's statement. There's really no other way you can come up with it. She could
Nope.
have been driving out to go to the corner store or whatever. But for it to be put out that he was running his car into her car to stop her from going to the police station, it don't I mean I pray that what is being said isn't true. Not just for Jane, because I'm a fan of the Falcon, but for Rakia,
Right.
because she's a woman. She should have never had to go through this shit in the first place.
Here's the sad
But
part about it. And with that situation, Winston, it's I hate to say it, but we were all saying this because of course you're gonna have Falcon fans who gonna feel a certain way about the situation, and they're gonna have
mhm,
some that's gonna feel the way it is what it is. But all I can say is this here. They actually say they split up in the fall. That was what
mhm.
was heard.
Oh,
So
they made sure to establish that she was the ex girlfriend.
yeah, they they
Mm,
they they established that she was the
mm,
ex.
mm.
So in that
They
situation,
they
whatnot,
they made sure to do
exactly.
that.
So it's no way that we can sit here and paint this picture and say, well, maybe this happened. No, the story came out as ex girlfriend,
And
ex.
and and on Everything that I've said or seen, every one of them keep reiterating ex girlfriend, not current girlfriend, not relationship in flux, none of that. Ex girlfriend. So that doesn't bode well towards the stalking premise and stalking charge. Because if y'all broke up in the fall, here it is almost springtime, and you still on the hills, and now this will boil over to this.
Mm-hmm.
Now the only pushback that I could give on this would be this. All right, what was y'all communication and involvement during the breakup period in the fall up to this point? Was y'all talking, trying to work it out? Were y'all still seeing each other, trying to work it out? Just at the third, because like to be honest, and I would never paint somebody guilty without the fact.
No,
I would never paint somebody guilty without the fact. But the only like I've been through the system so much that I know for a fact, like literally from what they're sitting there saying happened, the only saving grace that he may have is they were still talking, they were working on getting back together. He got over there and there was another dude, and dude tried to do something to him.
that.
And then he defended himself and she tried to break it up and whatever, end up with a broken note. That's literally like the only saving grace I can see.
But
Now,
here,
did it happen? Oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, but here's the thing that you also got to think about. Now that that has happened, no matter how we look at it, now it's over with. It's pretty much now we got to see what's gonna happen. How we
Mhm.
gonna move forward? Because at this point, now guess what you've done now? You've pretty much put Ian Cunningham in a situation
In the
where
worst position. And
now,
Matt Ryan.
yeah, and now, but here's the one thing: Arnold Ebiketie was gonna walk. A lot of people don't realize this. We was finna let that joker walk. So guess what?
Hmm.
Now,
He coming
when
back.
we talk about the retention side of it or whatnot, all I'm saying is the retention side of this thing. Now you might be getting Arnold Ebiketie back,
Hold
getting
on, hold on.
signed to
Hey,
another
hey,
contract.
hey, Ryan, pull that comment back up. All right, brother. Hey, look. Now, this is a man to man. I don't care how crazy a woman is. As a man, you do not put your hands on a woman. Why? For numerous reasons. One, it's unethical. For two, it's not a competent fight between a man and a woman unless she's a trained fighter.
Not even
You
then.
don't sit like even then you still don't do it. There's not a situation on God's green earth for a man to put his hands on a woman.
No, he said he didn't
Period.
condone it. Wesley, he said he didn't condone it in the comment. He
Oh
did.
no,
He said
I
he
I
didn't
get
condone
that. I get it. I was
it.
just going off. I was just sitting there going off
Yeah, yeah.
the first line of his comment, because the first
No,
line of his
no, no, no.
comment said, it
That's
said women are crazy.
no,
Women are crazy.
but I agree. I agree when, like he said, he don't condone it. That's the reason. Like I said, he in the clear because he said this
Oh no
not
no no
once.
no
He
no.
said it twice.
I'm not going at him. I'm not going at him. I'm just sitting there saying that first line shouldn't be in there. Period. The first line of the comment shouldn't have been in there anyway, because like there's giving a leeway or alley path for said things to happen. Like no, like that.
But no, what he was
I've
saying
I've
was this because I know what he was trying to say because you really can't say it in there. He wasn't giving it an alleyway. He wasn't trying to make an excuse for domestic violence at all. What he was saying was in some situations, you do have some females that do go off the deep end in that. Not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, but we all know
Okay.
that. But you have to walk
Right.
away in some situation, and pretty much any situation you walk away, unless. And here's where I draw the line at. So you can disagree with me all you want. If you got a weapon in your hand and you trying to take my life or come for me, I'm knocking you the
Oh
hell
yeah.
out. No,
Yeah. Better bet
and
it.
here's my
Better
thing.
bet it.
That is if you have a
Either I'm
weapon.
knock you out or I'm putting you to sleep.
Yeah,
Is one of the
I'm
two.
not trying to take your life. No, if you have a weapon and I'm trying to walk away because I've been cut before walking away. So again, in that situation, yeah, I'm gonna get the laws involved. But if I'm trying to get away and you trying to take my life, law of self-preservation. Law of self-preservation at that point. I don't
Yeah,
agree with
that.
I don't agree
Like
with putting hands on women. But if you have a weapon, it's different. She had the reports didn't say nothing about her having a weapon at all. And I feel like we're going down a rabbit hole away from the topic in this. I don't want to turn this into a domestic violence pretty much whole conversation. That's not what we're trying to do.
oh
We're
no
trying to
no
stay
no
on
no no.
JPJ about what's going on. But again,
Yeah,
as we
like if you're trying to take my life, that's a game I'm not gonna play. I'm not
yeah,
gonna play
yeah.
that game. I
So
promise you, I'm not gonna play the game with you.
nah,
But outside of that realm, yeah, like I'm not.
yeah,
I
that's
I
why I
walk
said
away
what
from you.
I said.
I leave your ass looking crazy in the face before I sit there and do something to you.
Yeah, so getting back to this here, I say this, man. I think the craziest situation that I've ever heard about, and this is during my childhood, being a Falcon fan, and with the Panthers, Ray Carew. I think that was the
Hmm.
craziest situation. You know what I'm saying? And that was, and matter of fact, the person that actually said that was a woman who said that. That was who said it. So it was a
Oh,
female who made that comment. So she kind of agreed with that. But
okay,
but
yeah, yeah.
so but let's be real. That situation, he tried, he pretty much did take the life of his child's mother. Now, that was a whole different situation, way different. But at the same time, his ass did evade the police. He did. He was in the trunk of a car. And we all remember that. And I'm not making it as a joke, but let's be honest. In this situation here, this dude was really trying to get away. And the sad part about it is we finally get, and as you said before, now I'm gonna turn it to the ball side of it now. We already done beat this part into the ground, which is probably gonna get beat by other folks. You
Oh yeah, because
finally get
I'm about to start a show after this end anyway.
okay,
So
there's no problem. And oh, I already know you and John finna get nuts, but
yeah,
what
we
I'm
know it.
yeah, what I'm saying is this. When you put, how can I put it? When you, as the Falcons, when you finally get your defense right, you finally get everything that you've been looking for defensively. You set the sack record, and you have a young burgeoning star at this point. You have it. And then you put yourself in this situation. And not only did you just hurt your life, I was preaching about his life earlier. That's more, I care more about the boy's life than what he's doing on the field, because eventually he's gonna be done. After that, he got to deal with this for the rest of his life. This is what everybody's not
Fact,
looking at.
fact.
And I'm gonna turn it to ball now. I'm not gonna, we already preached about his life and everything that could happen. Now we gonna put the Falcons in this. Falcons are out of a first round pick. Your first round pick that you traded up for pretty much ain't playing this year. You might as well get ready for that. And you got to prepare. Your plans that you had for your offensive line to build in the trenches to start helping your quarterback that's coming off of rehab is going to slightly take a turn, because now you have to get another bookend to be able to help Jalen Walker, and Walker's got to get a little bit better. He's going to have to pick up the slack now, because now you got to be the guy. You can't just sit
Not
there.
really
You
though.
got to go get the quarterback now at this point. You got to be the
Not
number
not
one.
really though. Not really though.
Let me finish my point,
And,
bro. Let me finish my
go
point.
ahead.
And the reason I'm saying Jalen Walker has to be that guy now is because you were drafted first pick overall. We understand what you bring to the table, but now you got to step up. Falcons have to figure out what they're going to do to bring in. You still got Floyd here, but Arnold Ebiketie, as we don't know if they're going to pay him, if they're going to franchise tag him or what. But There are free agents that are out here. It's many ways that you can do this. But right now, you got to prepare for life without James Pearce Jr. And the other issue that we have, Braylon Trice ain't touched the field in 2 years. He can't stay healthy. He ain't touched the field in 2 years. So right now, you have to find somebody who is going to be that other bookend that is going to help out, because now you're losing a big piece of your defense, and you have to figure out what you're going to replace him with or what you're going to fill in the gap with. You got to prepare for life without this dude now. That's pretty much what the Falcons have to do. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead, Winston.
I think he muted, bro.
No. I didn't mute him.
Oh
Go
no,
ahead, Winston.
no, 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 no. I muted myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I was about to say, man, stream tripping. No.
no, no, no. I do that when people talk. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, the way I see it is, Falcon got two different ways of combating this situation. Because
Mhm.
if any of this is even halfway true, Pierce not gonna be here at least next year. If he does not get cut before the season starts, well, let me do you one better. If he does not get cut before the new league year starts in March, it's very possible James Pierce get cut well before that. All right. Now you have two options. I can go back in the draft, go try to find me another edge rusher. I could, or I could sit there and gamble on Penix being the man and being who we expect him to be, and wait a season to go find me another pass rusher with that first round pick. Now, with that being said, it's gonna hurt a lot of people feeling. It's gonna hurt a lot of people feeling. But you have in-house option. You have AK. I think Floyd had a 1 year contract. All right. Well,
Mhm.
now do you sit there and take a gamble on Montana Troy and move in the edge? You could.
Why
D'Angelo Malone. You could
why does
move him there.
everybody keep saying
I
this?
don't I don't want him. I
No,
don't
no.
want Troy
I'm
Troy at all. What?
Winston. No, read this. Why does everybody keep saying this, man?
Hold on.
Rice did not flee the scene. What are y'all not realizing? Rice stayed there. They were drag racing. The difference in this situation, homeboy was using his car as a weapon, and he had a weapon, and he
All right.
tried to flee the
So
police. Y'all keep saying this foolishness. Like, come on, man.
all right. So
Uh,
this is where people are getting caught up on that. All right. When Wolf was alluding to, there are two types of crime, right?
yep.
All right. You have a non-violent crime and you have a violent crime. All right. Rice, his crime was a non-violent crime. He was just racing. He was just racing. Now, if somebody passed away in there, like, and you stick him with the if somebody is stuck with the charge of a death of somebody else, it automatically is a violent crime. Like if Jalen Carter was pushed on that, but they just gave him with the drag race or whatever, but they didn't really actually give him. They didn't ascertain and push the death of the other person in the race or whatever on him.
Mhm.
They didn't specify it to him, right? If
No,
that was the case, it'd be entirely different.
but
What you mean?
nobody, and I'm saying looking at no, I'm mistaken. That's on me, y'all. I was mistaken on that. Rasheed Rice did flee the scene, but he also stopped after he fled the scene for them cops when they pulled his ass over. That's the other
Did
part.
somebody
So he did. So he did flee the
did
scene.
anybody
He did
die in
flee
it?
the scene.
Did anybody die in that situation?
Ooh, that is a sticky situation.
Yeah, but did anybody die in it?
I don't remember right offhand.
I don't think so.
So
See, the reason that Henry Rose went to prison was because somebody
somebody
died
got killed,
in an accident that he created because he was
and he
sleeping
was drunk.
and he was drunk.
Difference.
So yeah, you're going to prison, right? All right, that's just going to happen. All right. So now look at this scenario. This is a violent crime. Not one time, not two times, but three times. See what I'm saying? Like they to be honest, they could sit there and drop two of those charges and load up on one and go for bear on one charge.
Hey, Winston, let me go ahead and say this because I don't want everybody to say, oh, you think no, you know what? I was wrong, ladies and gentlemen. So for those in the chat that have corrected me, I appreciate that. So I was wrong on that one. I'm not gonna sit here and be an ass like that because at the end of the day, I make mistakes too. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I was wrong on the Rasheed Rice situation. So for those that did put that out there, I do apologize for saying that y'all was wrong. I was wrong on that. He did flee the scene or whatnot. So I'm not gonna sit back and say that I was right because guess what? I was dead wrong. So please, y'all forgive me for that. Like I said, I have no problem with saying I'm wrong with something. So I do apologize for that. Thank y'all for clarifying that for me. So I'm humble enough to say I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I have no problem with saying that. So please don't think I don't know everything. I get corrected too, just like I correct folks. I appreciate that because you guys are helping keep me valid and keep me honest. But I try not to make a habit of that. So
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, even beyond that, like
yeah,
when you're podcasting, like yeah, I may have certain information, but at the same time, I look I look to the chat for information too.
yeah.
Y'all may know something that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? All a podcast is literally just a, a meeting of the minds. That's all it is. I'm saying
Right.
what from what I've gathered, this is what I deduce, and from what y'all gather, put it in the pot, and we got a great gumbo. Like that's really all the podcast is. That's all it is. See what I'm saying? Like I've seen plenty of podcasts where they don't and they don't even interact with the chat. They didn't want to push what they think onto to whoever would listen. Ryan's sitting there. He's saying what he think. Whatever y'all saying, what y'all think. Put it together. That's all it is. That's all the podcast is. Ain't no hostility. None of that. It's all love. Cause we all sitting there. uh,
I enjoy talking to fans and I enjoy interacting with folks. You know
Me
what I'm
too.
saying?
I love
And
it. I love it.
my thing is this. I can be wrong. A lot of the time I do my homework on stuff, and folks that watch this show know that I stay on my game. There are moments when I'm wrong, just like now. So guess what? Y'all just saw the human side. It's never wrong with saying that you're wrong, and it's okay to say, you know what, my mistake. It's okay to say that. I never argue with nobody right now when I'm wrong. And you've proven it to me. You brought the information, and guess what? I humbly accept it. So again, I love interacting with you guys because without y'all, there's no show. There's no channel. And that's what all the podcasts, like my man Winston was just saying. Is without y'all, we don't have this. But right now, it's a very, very it's a very, very tough time for Falcon fans because everybody was already split on the Kevin Stefanski hire. That just started off bad. He made some good hires, and then you got Tommy Reese that came into the building. Well, there was a lot of people pissed about it. So fans are split. Fans are split. But then you got to also look at it like this. Now you have this. You're gonna have the fans that are gonna look at the facts about what happened, and then you're gonna have the fans that are just gonna be fans with their feelings about what happened. And JPJ will not be wrong in their eyes, even if they do have him on camera. So again, I'm not telling people how to view this. I'm not telling people how to feel about it. That's not my job. My job is to be able just to give you a platform to speak out on how you feel. I'm not gonna judge you. I might disagree with you, but I'm not gonna judge you because I have my own opinions on it. So in this situation, I just it's just potential wasted. That's what I'm angry about, just to be honest. Or I'm disappointed. Best word to say, disappointed. As a podcast host, hey, it is what it is. This is giving me news. This is giving me material for the offseason. But on the other hand, I don't like having to have this type of information. But guess what? It's news. It's got to be reported. It's got to be reported. So if anything happens worse, it's just one of these things. I'm with you on that, demands. Yeah, he said not being facetious, but society today has a short attention span. This happening 24 hours before the Super Bowl will ease the attention off this a bit, especially if something crazy happens tomorrow. I agree. I agree with you on that. You know, and the sad part about it is you watched a lot of guys that have had great potential just throw it to the wayside. And that's not just with football, that's with every sport. Every sport. And you can talk about it from point shaving to murder to, domestic violence. Anything that you can think of, people have made mistakes. And unfortunately, this is a mistake. And his future is pretty much gone now. It's gone.
Well, I wouldn't say his future is gone.
No, as a football player,
His
I'm speaking on his career.
his NFL
His
future
NFL career
may be
is
gone.
gone.
Yeah,
But here's the
yeah,
other thing that you
it's
got to
quite
think about
possible.
too. It's gonna be hard for him to get a job, bro, because of
Um,
that. Some people are gonna be. I believe it's people out here that still will give chances, and I believe in giving folks chances if they prove their worth in that sense. But at the
mm.
same time, you know it's gonna be some people that have little minds and they will never look past what he did, and they're gonna hold that over his head, just like they hold that situation with Michael Vick over his head.
Most definitely. But at the same
Man,
time too, you have to understand the times that we're living in. Because now if it was back in like the 90s, 2000, 2010s, whatever, like he would have been cooked. He probably would have been at like McDonald's or something. But now, because of social media and stuff, he can make a he can make a living as a speaker. Hey man, you know what I'm saying? I had this moment in life that such and such happened, and I responded like such and such and such, and I don't want y'all to go down the same path. He could talk to the youth. He can go talk to inmates and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like he has the opportunity. Now, is he willing to tap into that? Because that demands that you have to humble yourself and stop put yourself over this situation.
agreed. So I'm gonna
That's
answer
on
this
him.
right. What time are you supposed to be starting your show tonight?
Uh, uh I probably start my show when you finish yours, give or
I'm
take.
gonna be on for a little bit, man. So you might want to go ahead and get that thing started. I'm gonna be on for a minute, but and I'll probably stop by y'all show, but I'm gonna probably be on for a little bit longer or whatnot because we still got some folks coming through, and I know I'm gonna try to direct some of those folks towards your show as well, so we can get you some, get some folks to come in there, and on his show, y'all can actually say every cuss word in the book that y'all want. That's
Hey
just how
man,
they
look,
do over there. But
the eye test is the unfiltered barbershop.
that,
It's
they my listen. They my country cousins or whatnot. They don't need moonshine to get loose. But
no sir.
I gotta address this. So football wise, if we cut him, This is coming from Kyle Bennett. Appreciate you. He's been active in the chat tonight. Need some milk, Tyreek Johnson, so many others, man. So many of y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming through and just being active with what's going on. But let's go ahead and talk about it. So he says, football wise, if we cut him and he goes somewhere else and has a Hall of Fame career resurgence, how would you feel about that, knowing we traded the pick and he was dominant only for a year? Here's my thing.
I wouldn't care. Oh,
That's not up.
go
That's
ahead.
not up to me. I'm gonna say it like we used to say in the military. That's above my pay grade. The person
Mm-hmm.
that controls that is that man that's sitting there signing those checks by the name of Arthur Blank. That is who's going to be the done data about if we gonna keep him or not. Now, if Roger Goodell forces his hand in getting rid of him, that would be something else. But again, this falls on Arthur Blank if he's gonna keep a guy that's gotten in trouble. So I don't
Well,
have any feelings towards it at this point.
Moran, I give a little bit of pushback on that
I
because,
don't.
to be honest,
I expect it.
I yeah, gotta keep it spicy. but look, I think this right here is Matt Ryan's first actual challenge. I don't think it escalate beyond Matt Ryan
Hmm.
because in all actuality, they kept sitting there saying Matt Ryan is in control of everything from the field to the players. Everything that got to do with football, with field to coaching, GM and GM down to the blade of grass. Matt Ryan's in control of. I don't think they escalated beyond Matt Ryan. I don't. I think Arthur Blank will have his say in the situation, but I think the burden of whether he will be a Falcon or not, it falls on Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Now, I do think this though. I'm gonna be honest. If you look at the way Matt Ryan took it, well, look at his head coach, look at his GM. He played it safe. They these are quote unquote good people in their position. All right, cool. I think because they said and they harped on Matt Ryan changing the culture, and Matt Ryan's here doing the Prince Shimbo situation. I think Matt gonna end up cutting. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think, to be honest, I think James Pearce either he'll be cut or they're gonna have him in limbo, and it's pretty much cut. But the moment they get something definitive, that's when he'll end up getting cut.
Yeah. We'll find out. Like you said, in that situation, I feel like we're gonna find out. But again, here's the other thing. You still are in a spot where undrafted free agents are gonna be real big in this draft, like I've been saying for the longest. I'm just gonna be 100 with you on this. A lot of guys out here right now that are chomping at the bit. They just have an opportunity. You get what I'm saying? They don't have to be a
Mm-hmm.
top round guy. You got guys that are looking to get a chance to play at this level. You know, it's gonna be guys that aren't gonna get drafted from big D1 schools that are actually diamonds. The question is, if you can't draft them, are you gonna invite them to come in and start playing? Or are you gonna go down the free agency route? Are you gonna get a Trey Hendrickson who wants out of Cincinnati, a guy that you know
Exactly.
is productive? You got a Hassan Reddick, you know what I'm saying? Another guy that pretty much wants out of his situation. So what I'm saying is it's many different guys that you can, it's many different ways that you can do this. But the question is, are you ready to go down this route? Are you going to wait for the situation to happen and be reactive, or are you going to be proactive to
You
prepare
you
just in case he's not here? That's going to
you
be
have
critical with
you
this
have
front
to
office.
be proactive. You have to be proactive at this point. I have to
Agreed.
I have to I have to sit there and look at it like I know for a fact, point blank period, I'm not gonna have him this year. At least this year. All right, what do I do? Now letting sit there and change everything. But it didn't really change everything. It just changed because like Cunningham want to build in the trenches. He
Yep.
wanted the trenches right. All right. Well, he's going to go attack the trenches in free agency and stuff. Now the question is, instead of going get a nose sack in free agency, what
Now
the
you
hell
got
you
to get
may
an
go have to
edge.
go? Now you got to go get an edge. All right. Well, that money is different. But see, Trey Henderson, him sitting there not being healthy as much as he should be, you might be able to get him for a steal.
Yep. Discounted
All right.
rate.
So exactly. So now where you go after that? Because when you putting together a team and you go in free agency, you can't sit there and think I want this and I want that and I want this and I want that. No, I need to think if I go get this, how did it affect the money to go get that? How did this if I get that too? How did it affect the money of getting this? Free agency in all actuality, you supposed to free agency is where you feel your needs. That's where you feel your needs at. You don't do that in the draft. You feel your needs in free agency for the
And
most part,
and
and
Winston
then
here
the draft is icing on the cake.
and Winston, here's something that I'm gonna put out here. This is something that, again, as I said before, you got to look at what you can get. Right now, it's a ton of dudes that's out here that you can go get. I'm gonna give you a good replacement. I make the joke and say I don't want nothing out of University of Florida, but it's a edge. It's two edge defenders that I would look at. There's a kid by the name of George Gums that's coming out of Florida, or you can go get Tyreek Sapp. You could get them second, third round guys. And when I say they monsters, they monsters. Know that firsthand. Or if you don't go down that route, you got LT Overton out of Alabama that you can go get, or you can go get Zion Young out of Missouri. These are schools that I know that the Falcons draft from. But on the other hand, I would look at the kid from Indiana at this point. Then you also have Reggie Grimes out of Memphis. That is a guy who can ball. So what I'm saying is, it's many areas that you can go get guys. You just have to be willing to do so. Because as I said before, if you're not gonna draft them, I've already said I already got my boys from the HBCUs. One of them is coming out of Southern University. I'm telling people like this: if we can't get nothing out of these big schools that's worth a damn, okay, slide down to the Division II side. Ian Cunningham is known for doing that. He is known for finding those type of players that can come in and start expeditiously. So I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it from this standpoint. I keep telling people George Gums is a guy that can come in here and do what James Pearce Jr. did. Know that firsthand. He did it at Illinois before he transferred to Florida. So he's done it at two different places in two different conferences that are supposed to be the top conferences when it comes to producing talent. So again, George Gums is a guy that I would look at. Period. And Tyreek Sapp is a monster. Now you know if I'm talking about Florida Gator players, y'all know it's a big thing because you know I said I don't want nothing out of damn Florida. Tell people that all the time. I don't want nothing out of UF because the Falcons seem to not get it right when they draft out of UF. So for all you Kyle Pitts lovers, y'all go ahead and say what you gonna say, but until he prove it, and many others that we've had from Keanu O'Neal and many others, it is what it is. Now I give you this: if you choose to go in the undrafted free agency market, all I'm going to say, there's a young man that I truly would look at. I truly would look at. And he's coming out of an HBCU. I know some of y'all don't really care too much for those type of kids, but there's a kid by the name of Mike Lunds II out of South Carolina State. Man is a monster. If we don't get him, you get the defensive, you get one of the former defensive SWAC players of the year out of the Southern University and Shelby Givens, out of Kelby Givens. Again, when I say it's monsters that's there, it's monsters that's there if you can't draft. You just got to know where to look. And you just got to know what type of guy you getting. And those guys that I just named, they have motors. They're not popular, but they got motors and they can go get it. And they're not troublemakers either. I don't mind a guy having a little rough edge to him. I just don't want a choir boy unless he's Reggie White. So, but with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we've been on for about 2 hours doing a little something, man. Winston, tell the folks where they can find you at, because I know you sitting here waiting to get off or whatnot. So you can go ahead and start stealing these damn viewers. I know how you working. You ain't slick. I'm just joking, man. That's my guy Winston right now. What you
man.
got?
I'm cooling, man.
No, I'm just messing with you.
Well, I just created a show. Uh, we will be going on at 12:10 at the eye test. You know, you catch us on Facebook at the eye test, on X at the eye test, and YouTube at the eye test. You know what I'm saying? We shout out with Falcon content. Uh, ain't no telling where the conversation will go, but you can enjoy the ride along the way. I appreciate you for having me on the show tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because like this was a topic that needed to be spoke about in more ways than one.
Facts.
And I appreciate you providing a platform for those type of conversations because in this scenario it has to be had. So I appreciate you, brother. Shout
Yeah,
out to
man.
Nando too. Shout
Yes, sir. Yes,
not
sir.
hey, shout out to Nando, man. Nando was sitting there trying to contribute and give his takes and all that while sitting trying to get home, man. Hey, shout out to you, bro.
Hey, it's about life. We gotta do what we gotta do. That's why we gotta look after this little brother, James Pierce Jr. He gonna keep
Agreed.
going. But right
Keep
now,
going.
it just a bump in the road. We're gonna keep on going. We gotta find a way to keep on going.
Hey, Winston. See, it seems like this platform here, we get folks that call us from the hospital bed. Shout out to Will. We called him we before we called him Pink Slip Will, we called him Mr. FMLA because he called us from that hospital bed. But man,
Yeah,
yeah, and now we got Nando walking home from work. But you know what? At the end of the day, I say this and we gonna close. I know Nando just float to everybody's show, man. So shout out to my brother Nando. He do his
hey
thing.
man,
But
that's a big homie, man.
yeah, that's
That's
the
a
big
big
homie
homie.
right there. That's my guy. But let's be honest. At this point, it's got to be a wake up call for anybody that's here in Atlanta right now, because some of these guys watched Calvin Ridley leave. That's on this team still. It's a few, but some of these guys got to see that happen when he gambled. Now you're getting ready to see a first round pick possibly end up leaving.
Yo,
That's what's getting
hold
ready
on,
to
hold
happen.
on, hold on, hold on.
Wait, no, 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 no. Talk about it on the eye test because I'm wrapping this up, bro. I'm finna shut it down.
All
I'm shutting it down.
right, all right.
Yeah. So this is how this is gonna be. You have to have people that are gonna look out for these kids that are coming in here. They're grown men, they're gonna make their own decisions. We all know this. But this right here has to be an eye opener for those that are on this team right now, and they got to follow this situation to see that happens. Because I hate to say it, but James Pierce Jr. is probably going to end up being an example for future Falcons that come up under this new regime. And
Oh, you
unfortunately,
better.
this is what's going to happen. I hate to say that, and I don't want it to happen to him like that. But you know what? Matt Ryan is gonna probably try to set the tone and let folks know what it is up here in Atlanta when you come here. Him, Ian
Agree.
Cunningham, and so many other folks that are in that front office. Because again, as I said before, Arthur Blank does not BS around and does not play about folk getting in trouble. He just don't. After what happened with Michael Vick, he just don't. But hey, we're on live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Like I said, you either get right or you get left. Tap into us. Winston, thank you for coming through, my guy. Appreciate
Sure
you.
enough.
And then Nando, appreciate you, my guy. And for the folks that have tapped in, you've been with us for an hour and almost 54 minutes. We definitely appreciate it because, again, we're going to give you a platform to speak out on. We're going to make sure that we tell the truth. We might get corrected sometimes, but you know what? This is part of what we do. So thank y'all for tapping in. I catch you on Thursday, and I'll have a bumper to bumper for you this week just to give my thoughts about what's going on, man. You either get right or you get left. We'll catch it in. Ghost.